Okay, hello and welcome. This is the first playthrough of Factorio SpaceAge. I've not seen any of the other playthroughs or pre-builds or anything like that, so we're going to start from scratch and use no blueprints, learn as we go, and figure this thing out together. It's going to be fantastic. Alright, so as far as mods go, we've only got the base game, elevator rails, quality, SpaceAge, and alien biomes graphics. That makes up the 2.0 releases. We have a couple of old ones which we can update, which will force a reset. So essentially what I'm saying there is we've got no mods loaded apart from the base game. We have set up a new single player game in free play. Everything is default. We'll do a random seed. I want to play Rail World, so I'm going to switch that on. Which all Rail World really does is makes the deposits as you get further away from your initial base just richer and bigger. So I prefer Rail Worlds. You'll see that as it grows. Who knows, in this expansion I may not. So let's have a look. Okay. Right, so everything appears to be down here. First things first is let's cut down a couple of trees and just get some boxes going. Stick half of that in there, and while that's happening I'll just manually dig up some iron ore. Probably need some stone as well, so I'll put that here. Going, and then run over and dig up some stone from the stone patch, which is just to the northeast. I love Factorio. I've been playing on and off for 10 years, maybe longer. Back when boilers looked like little square blocks and there was no Spidertron. Getting a satellite launched was a big deal. In the last game I completed the achievements, not that they were particularly difficult, and built a truly massive world while I was abroad and had little to do with my time except grow the factory, and so I grew it. Right, so just built some stone furnaces. Let's get the output of this, and hopefully it'll be enough, not quite, to get us So one of the first things that I'll do is just get enough to get the extractors, the burner ironing drill, to go back to back so that they start self-filling themselves to give us a backlog of coal, and then use that to feed a processor that'll start making iron ore en masse. Should be enough to get going. So I need some more stone as well. The thing is with Factorio is you spend so little time in the early game that it's all quite daunting, and there's just nothing around, and you often wonder yourself, how am I ever going to get going? How do I get started? Yeah, all Factorio maps start empty, and you build off nothing. So don't be daunted by the fact that you don't know what to do and there's nothing done for you. This is how you learn. Right, so let's get some more coal, grab this, and we now have some burners. They're building down there. Quickest way to generate coal is to remove that box, place that there, and they'll start feeding each other. That'll give us a perpetual source of coal. Those two will feed into each other, and you'll see that they produce more coal than they consume, so eventually our coal buckets here will automatically fill up. That's one of the quickest ways I've found at the start of a game just to get free coal, is to back-to-back a pair of coal burners, and that'll effectively bootstrap us to the point that we can automate enough with this to get us going. Just keep topping that up. And we'll build a second burner, feed it into there, and just start growing things out. But now we've effectively got coal for days. And from here, we should never again run out. Now, interestingly, there's an alien base there and one to the north. Look at pollution. No problems at the moment, but we will have some. So this playthrough, no idea whether Factorio SpaceAge changes the difficulty, whether they become more aggressive quicker. I'm surprised to see an alien base that large, that close. We have a handgun and firearms, but really, that's nothing. Getting all the burner going. Grab some coal. And that doubles the output of iron into that box. What else can we make? Not much else. Boxes, which we've got. Let's make another one just for laughs. Let's go to the tech tree. So the very first thing in the tech tree is to make electronics, or to make them available, which is just copper. So let's facilitate that and get the ball rolling. Go over here and just set up a box feeding coal into here. have that ready to go. Hey. So we've researched a couple of items. Pipes, very early on in the game. That feels earlier. It's been so long since I've done early game. That feels very, very fast. Alright, let's get some serious fabrication going. You can already start to feel that it's starting to ramp up. Let's get a boiler, let's get a pump, let's have those going in the background. Let's okay, electronics is done. That gets us ready to research our first science pack. Which we do by making that, which is relatively cheap, 36 plate and 15 copper. Which we absolutely have. Some water, which is just up here, close to that, but that's neither here nor there. Nothing we can do about it. It's the only water on the map that I can see, so that's the one we're going to use. Let's chop down some more trees while we're waiting for that to catch up. And we'll use those trees for telegraph poles and maybe boxes. And then we won't use trees again until we have robots to auto-harvest them. But even then I can't imagine we'll really be needing them for all that much. Craft a lab, and we get that for free. So let's do that. And grab this, put that there. And the lab is being constructed automagically. Done. Alright, now we've got serious research options, and the most obvious one to me is the mining drill. But let me have another look. or weapons? Probably the weapons, given how close things are. Some more stone. Copper's run out of fuel. And of course, all I've got on me is some wood, which I'll use. But I'll go and get some coal. Trees are really handy early on if you do happen to spawn in a densely wooded area. It actually slows the progression of the pollution, which would be good. We've only really got that buffer on the eastern side, and plains allow pollution to spread really easy and really laterally fast. So we've got that concern with that initial alien nest to the east. I need some more cookers here. What cookers are they? Stone furnaces. I need another one at least. To double our steel output. Although I've got quite a bit there already. Alright. It's all coming together. Okay, so I've got a boiler. I need a engine, boiler, pump. We've got a couple of pipes which take a lot of steel plate to get in place, and then a heap of copper to make the adjoining research coming along. We said guns. What do we need? We need red. So to do that now, we just need this and that. So let's just block this here for the time being. It needs power. Let's get a bunch of coal. Take it all out of those, it's no problem. They'll self-fill and just keep running away. They will stop when they are full, but it's no drama to take everything out of it early on. They'll just keep running on the unit that's in their fuel cell already, and that's enough to generate another coal to keep the whole show running. So let's get this in some water. build this really inefficiently. So drop that there, drop this here, drop that there. And then put a steam engine there. Put all of I'll just drag this down. Now I tend to leave the crash site untouched. There is some materials you can gain out of that, which would speed up the start, but I don't know. I like leaving it. Look, there's a school of thought which you can just cannibalize that, and that's fine. There's no reason not to, and it's probably going to give you a faster start time. But I like leaving it because later on it's sort of a reference of where you came from. Right, all that manual stuff, let's stop doing that. We're just at the point now where we can probably automate pretty much everything here. Let's pop up that. Alright, so we've got enough power, we've got the lab. Love to make some more ammo and handcraft some red science. Let's do that. Pump out some transports. What do we need? We need to get ourselves a gun first, which we'll do. Placing these in here. My goodness, this is the first time I've seen the number of sciences that SpaceAge brings to the table. So the previous game had science up to white. The expansion clearly extends this out to orange. We're going to call that, yeah, oof. It's green, but it's not that green. So it's olive green, there's a pink, there's a dark blue, and a black. I think it's black. Grey, black. Yeah, wow. So a lot more science to uncover, and that'll be borne out by this tree, which... Let's see all the tree. It's not going to show us... Well, it's showing us the Prometheus, so it's not showing us all of the possible sciences, but it says we have to go to planets. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to do. My goodness. Alright, let's not get overwhelmed. Let's focus on what we can do now. So I'm going to go for military first, get a gun so we can defend ourselves, then the electric drills, and then logistics, inserters, and then automation. And from there, we should be pretty much set up well within the first hour. Just keep harvesting out things here, topping up the ore so it doesn't stop. Yeah, copper. Hand making a whole heap of belts. Start new progress. So we want this and we want start research. So it's now going to research the military, which will give us an automatic weapon and shotguns. We really are only after the automatic weapon. All the shotguns are pretty effective early on, so we might make it a bit of both and we can cycle between them. I was really keen to play this for you and not skip. So we're going to laboriously do all of the stuff. It won't be fun. It's not going to be quick and well edited and concise. But we're going to do stuff as you would real time. So we've got plenty of satisfaction for power. We're using about, I'm saying about 8% of what we're making is being utilised. There's plenty of room to grow there. Just make sure that we've got plenty of coal in this, because a powered stop here would be pretty bad. Right, our research is humming along. Let's pop up here and get some more copper. Keep that going, although we've got 90. Really bottlenecked at the moment by copper and plate. Iron plate. That's sort of running on its own. All right. Second steam boiler, we'll need that eventually. So holding off making things until I'm sure that we've got an upgrade path. Military's about to complete. I'm heading up to get some more stone. Still hand mining stone purely to make the burners. Alright. That was an achievement. That's one of the new ones. Excellent. Alright, so that's done. Let's go straight to electric mining drill. Start research on that. It's nice and cheap. We might even have the red science in the lab to get that to happen automatically. But let's have a look at, let's make a gun, let's make some ammo, let's make some more ammo, and what do we need for a shotgun? Some more wood. Alright, so make those weapons and get ready to equip them. Ammo is just iron plate, a little bit of copper, plenty of copper. Let's make some more of those. Just enough. We'll be able to automate them soon, so no need to go overboard by hand making them. Alright, and let's put shotgun ammo in there. Let's stop using a handgun. C. C is the auto binding to change weapons. Take the handgun out because we're not going to use that anymore. Sure why I did that. Yeah. That needs some more fuel. Let's make a second lab. Double the speed with which we research. This is stopped. Okay, it's not coal, it's instantly double our research speed. When I say instantly, all it took to do all that. Let's go over and get some more copper, some more shotguns, make some more bullets. Plenty of coal over there. Some more stone. And get ourselves ready because as soon as we can, we're going to start making electric mining drills and a heap of transport belts, which are just plate, and work towards automating all of this that we're doing currently by hand and just getting it so that it's coming out automatically. And we'll run out of research. And mining drill is done. Let's have a look at this. So it doesn't use the old burning miners, which is a shame. It really should require you to build those, but I guess the stone furnaces are used by that. Yeah, okay. It's a bit of a waste, which is sort of why I was holding off making more of these, because I wasn't sure whether they were an item that was used to create the electric mining drill, and they're not. So that's that solved. So what I need is a lot of. There's one, and there's two. Awesome. Initially, I'll just manually feed these. Friends, Mr. Automatic Copper. We can decom this, we don't need this anymore. And we can put the outputs directly into here. I'll just keep doing that till I've got none left in inventory, because we don't need to carry that around anymore. On the burner. Turn that there. that, we'll collect plate for days. Hopelessly inefficient, but they'll all feed until we get blue grabbers. That's a way of just forcing the insertion of plate into a box, and it's now starting to keep up with the output. Just keeping our bullets up. So shooting is, as long as there's something to shoot, just hit space. But we go through ammo pretty quick. I think it's worth sorting those guys out. They are on my mind, and they do bother me. They're close enough. Let's get some research happening. What are we going to research? We could research stronger bullets and faster shooting speed, but right now I think we'd be better off doing some straight logistics, nice and cheap. 15 red. Let's head over and sort these guys out. Or at least see if we can sort these out. This could be a very quick game. Let's at least look and see what we've got. Ooh, there's a lot of them. Yeah, well, it's a bit closer than it should have been. Let's get some fish. Can we even make fish early on? No, we can't, which is why we're healing automatically, which is nice. Let's get some more ammo going. Right, it's sort of important that we follow up on that, because they'll respawn and start overwhelming us if we don't. So wow. That has not gone well. I'm not doing nearly enough damage, fast enough or hard enough to make an impression on them, and I've barely damaged the base. So we need to research up some options to take them out with far greater speed and power than we're doing it with. So let's abandon that. They felt tougher than I recall. focus on automating rather than committing acts of wanton. Now, always good when you're early on in the game to not forget about simple things like power. Power needs fuel, and fuel runs out. While we're not really that reliant on power right this moment, it'll become a problem later if we don't start automating the fuel to power. So let's get on that. As you can see, it does cook through it pretty quick. There are some ratios to start thinking about as well. Not too problematic early on. Things like, over the right hand side, water pumping speed is 1,200 units per second. This requires 6 units per second to run. So we can 1,200 divided by 6 is quite a big number of these boilers you can put in sequence. Boilers make gas, as in steam. Steam drives turbines. Happy days. Now the ratio used to be 2 to 1. So it outputs 60 seconds of steam, and this requires 30 steams per unit. So 60 out, you can put 2 in sequence. So those ratios haven't changed. I know it's a bit cheaty just remembering it, but that is really all there is to it. Just remembering ratios. Looks like water's not that big a problem. The ratio for that is just nuts. Okay, so that last research gave us logistics, underground belts and splitters, and also I think no factory node, not yet. Okay, let's make some armor. That'll be handy for when we do go off and finally take on the bugs once and for all. We're going to NQ that so it makes that next. We want automation, and I want a gun turret, and radar's not really that important, but let's just do it. And repairs. Okay. Repairs use steel, I think, so we're way off needing that. Let's get the burner drills though up into stone, so we're automatically getting stone and or copper. See, our pollution spread is really getting out of control. Now, once this red hits the base of the aliens, they'll start attacking continuously. So we're in a sort of early race against time to research your way to a point where you can defend yourself against the aliens. Eating fish will heal you quicker than just standing there, which is nice. There's also some medical stuff we'll learn later, but eating fish is no bad thing early on. Let's queue up some science so we can get to the next stage that much quicker. Okay, we should have enough red science now. Yep. To load these guys up and just let it go for a bit. Still 7 more coming, so plenty to come. Plate's sort of happening now all nicely on its own. We've got our armour on, which is nice. Acid, explosions, fire. A little bit of physical resistance, that's handy. Let's get this going in here. Right, what did we just learn there? Fast inserters. Right, so let's queue one of those, and that fast inserter will replace this mess that I've got going with one unit, which would be much more efficient. Uses more power, but does one use more than 6? Let's see. Power consumption is 59 watts max as opposed to 15 watts max. So 15 times 1 times 6. Yeah, it's cheaper. By 2. Right, this work getting in the way of progress. So we got long-handed inserters. They'll become handy in a bit, especially when you start piping up coal into the game, which I think I'll start doing more or less now. What else we got coming in the pipe? Mining drills. All right, let's get rid of you and you. You've served me well. Let's automate this. Remove this, and this. This for now. What we're going to do is put a splitter here, run this up here, turn it off, because we do need there is a reason why I'm putting that gap there. It'll become apparent. Oh, that's something I didn't talk about. So, placing these, rotate with R, and the flat line is what's picking up from, and the arrow is where it's going to. It's pretty easy. Let's get rid of all of this noise, unrequired. Pick up that and this. There's a little bit of rebuilding that goes on now. All normal. Do I need to build some more burners? Yeah, why not? Let's build 2 more. And let's schedule this to go up here. A couple of those. Run some power down here. And the reason I've got 2 coppers is I'm going to do a long run of copper, but I'll work backwards. Run out of those. Right, so that is going to automate the distribution of fuel all the way up this boiler, which is already out. We're just running on the steam that was left over. Have I got enough? I do. So I'm going to make an extension to this and double our power output in one go. So there's the boiler. Extend that onto here. And there's one. The other, just like that, we've doubled our power output, but also because that pollution started to grow. So I think our next research needs to be damage and speed and a lot of bullets. That's important. Gun turret makes everything easier. Just using the yellow inserters, there's no need for these to be faster than that. Making them blue doesn't improve the performance at all because the burners take that long to... furnaces, I'm sorry, take that long to process that feeding them that little bit quicker really doesn't change the game at all. Let's just check our power just to make sure that we're really okay. Yeah, just at 10%, that's fine. Do the same over here with copper. Won't though for a moment, just till I catch up on stuff. So I'll just keep automating that and picking it up manually. I am going to though. Where's our first factory? Let's make our first factory. Start the spaghetti of extending out the factories required to automate bits and pieces of this. I'm going to chain off a piece here. We're going to make transport belts. We're going to make them into there, and we're going to Alt brings up the ghost of what the machines are making. Very handy. Basically set it and never change it. Now, here's where we need a faster one. Suddenly you start needing to increase. So when you got 4, or as it turns out 5, little burners feeding into the one belt, you need a faster grabber to remove them before they bank up. So it's catching up now. And we place down power there, and suddenly we have 6. So output's now 6. We need some. We got too far ahead of ourselves. So let's change this to being rings. Create the rings. Get some coal real quick to feed that empty coal burner over here. Start the process over here of automating this. An underground belt there. I'll get rid of that because it's a waste. Let's create that gun turret, because I think when the aliens attack, and they will attack, they're going to hit pretty hard. We were wanting to automate transport belts, and we shall do so by this little mechanism here. Let's remove all this here. We're going to spoon this up to there. We're going to build a factory there. We're going to put 2 there. And we're going to have a couple of inserters. What do we got? We got a bunch of stuff getting built. I need some more plate. Iron ore that's in my bag. Shan't be eating that anymore. Let's drop in is radar really the best thing we can do here? Repair packs. Repair packs. Steel axe would be nice. Heavy armor would be nice too. But I need steel for that, so let's do steel after that. Steel is just another process of iron plate re-smelted to make steel. So it's actually pretty easy to make, and just having a single unit making steel early on gets you some pretty good early access units. Remember, we started with nothing. We've already got the makings of a basic spaghetti factory. Spaghetti factory is so named because they look like spaghetti. There's no good ways about it. Let's make some burners. Risky making so many because it sort of almost inevitably leads to pollution. Can't be helped. So the goal here is to make a automated transport belt system into a box. Added yet more capacity to our iron there. And the idea is we get enough that we saturate the rings and force them to output belts into that box. Quick, dirty, simple. Now, this one's electronic circuits. That feels really early for circuits, but that's cool. Probably need some more help with these. We're in that phase, which, I mean, it honestly, the phase is like that all the time. Let's double the output there, and that saturates this. And the idea is that we saturate this belt, which leads to these being inserted on this side of the belt, which allows these to make belts. You need two. You need iron and you need iron gear wheels. Now we've supplied both. We're going to output transport belts to the box. Easy, quick, simple, done. It's one of the first things you should do. The next one would be a simple supply of bullets. Because if you neglect bullets, and we'll actually output those directly into a gun turret. Done. Oh, that's new. I didn't know we could. This is a brand new feature. So we can set a filter on what it shoots at, so it'll focus its fire on certain things. Let's just leave it open. Okay, and with that hitting the military, I think that'll do for today. Thanks very much for joining. Let's continue it later on.